What's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Pictures podcast. I'm here today. It is Tuesday, man. What is it? August the 13th, 12th, 13th. Got my days mixed up. Been going live so many days. Got my boy Stats with me. Then we do have a special guest tonight, SmittyEagle, man. What's going on with you?
Man, chilling, man. Looking forward to the 24-25 season, man. I didn't think I was gonna get the link with you, man, because I didn't even know we was gonna end up preseason and joint practice. You know what I mean? So it's good to be back with you, though, Ken.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
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 we
yeah.
can.
Stats, what's going on with you today? You was at camp today, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. It was packed today. There was sold out. There was people, standing, in the, everywhere. It's the most people I've ever seen. A lot of energy. It was a fun day. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do, man. Let's go ahead and hop right into it, man. We know we saw today there was I'm having some connection issues. So give me a minute. Yeah, we see today there was. I mean, I think you seen two teams. You got the Patriots and the Eagles. Two teams going in two different directions. You got the Eagles, really a rebuilding team. Stats, you were there, that man. What did you take from the joint practices?
So, as a Pats fan, our biggest concern right now is actually the offensive line. And with the Eagles D line, with Davis, with Carter, with Sweat, you knew it was going to be a tough one today. They ate our offensive line alive. The last 6 snaps that Drake May took, he must be having some connection issues. 5 of those snaps were registered for sacks. Not good. Vidarian Lowe at left tackle cannot be starting there, especially against, in the NFL, today, there's so much speed off the edge, especially with all the depth you guys have at that position. You guys exposed us in that act. But besides that, Drake May he had some nice moments. He started off, I think, 7 for 7 and 7v7s. But I think it was a well balanced matchup on your offensive side with our defense. Both are making some nice plays. Your defense towards the end started dominating our offense pretty badly, especially with the O-line. Our quarterbacks just had no time to throw the ball. But again, you guys just have so much depth at every position. You got Mitchell, you got DeJean, you got Blankenship in the secondary, and then I just went over the offensive line. The defensive line. So you guys just have a lot of depth and ate us alive there. So what's going on with you? What you hear about the Eagles today?
Uh, Actually, I got to see a lot of it. One of my guys was there. No, it looked very promising on our end, right? You know what I'm saying? Looking at it. But your defense obviously, made some plays, made Jalen Hurts a little uncomfortable. But what I have been liking from my side, like my quarterback play, it seems like he took another step. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna translate. We got to get back on the field, but like just watching him and seeing like how precise he looked, how he making decisions, like some of the passes he's been making, like this camp that I seen today, like the wheel route to Saquon, like
Yeah.
that was a pretty ball. The Goddard out and up. That was
Beautiful.
like his placement has been crazy. But
Yeah.
I did like what I seen from Christian Gonzalez today. He went a lot against Devontae today. They was going back and forth a lot. He went against AJ. AJ dominated him a little bit more than Devontae. You know what I mean? But that's what AJ do. You know what I mean? But I also like how your defensive line looked against my offensive line. It showed me a few things about some of the guys that need some work. It looked like y'all was getting a little pressure on the edge, but like I said about Jalen, like things like that. Instead of him trying to escape, he just stepped up into the pocket where it was sealed off and made a throw. You know what I mean? I like that. You know what I mean? So, but your edges look safe. But I'm gonna tell you this now. I'm gonna tell you this, Stats. Hey man, Howie Rose been talking to Judon, man, just in case our defensive ends don't look good, man. We might have to make a call, man.
Yeah. I was just gonna bring that up. Judon is just such an important piece to our defense because he takes a lot of pressure. Because we have some solid guys on the edge like Josh Uche, Anthony Jennings. They're solid players, but if they don't have a one in front of them like Judon, they struggle to get a lot of separation. They don't really. Our leading sack guy last year was Christian Barmore, who's obviously a defensive tackle. They all had down seasons with the absence of Judon. But what I was gonna say about your Eagles, is AJ Brown today was dominant. He was separating at every level. Jalen Hurts had some beautiful tosses to him. I loved watching him and Gonzalez going against each other. Gonzalez had a nice pass breakup on one of the plays, but for the most part, AJ Brown, not even just on Gonzalez, because like we said, Gonzalez was on Smitty a lot, but AJ Brown had a great day. You know, the guy, he's a superhuman. He's so fast, but he separates so well too for his size. It's really fun to watch your guys' offense, especially with the addition of Saquon. Although the run game wasn't great today, our D line was actually on today. Devon Godshaw actually had a really good day. But you guys will be totally fine with that. If you're worrying about your run game, you know, that's the least of your worries. You guys have probably the best run game in football. But I agree with Jalen Hurts. His poise in the pocket, he looks like a completely different quarterback. Or today I saw he did. Taking that extra second in the pocket that he has to really read what he has going on downfield. I thought you guys had a nice day on offense. And then obviously towards the end of practice, your defense was eating us alive. You can't really, take a lot away from the one-on-ones because, these guys are impossible to cover. I will say one thing. Drake May had some beautiful balls today to Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, which I love to see because that's our future right there. Those are the guys you want to see connecting. But, you guys had some to cover Smith and Brown is near impossible in the open field at one-on-one. Even with a guy, of Christian Gonzalez caliber, it's impossible to cover Devontae Smith. Just those quick slant routes he hits, his feet are super quick. It's fun to watch.
The best route I seen today was when he sold the comeback for a double move.
Yeah. Who was that to again?
That was Smitty on Smitty and Gonzalez. He sold to the side, but he kept like moving, and then when he got to the top, Gonzalez was like, all right, he finna sell the double move again. I'm gonna keep riding.
Yeah.
He came back to the ball. The separation was like 7 yards. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ, that man run routes like nobody else.
That was crazy. When he hit that first move, Gonzalez kind of bit, and then when he hit the second one, he was lost. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm about to pick up where y'all left out there if I can remember where y'all left at. I think that I like what I seen from the defense today. I think like coming out, like I said before I got off when my connection went out, it's two teams in two different directions. Patriots are a top 5 team. We're rebuilding. We know that. And the Eagles are a top 5 or a Super Bowl caliber team. You got the Eagles, the 49ers, Chiefs, Ravens, maybe Buffalo. So a few teams are in that conversation. So I actually thought that the Eagles were going to dominate the practice. So I actually think it was a lot better than what I thought it would be. Now, and saying that or whatnot, I believe I think Drake May had a couple of nice passes, but the offensive line, we knew the offensive line coming into this all season that I like the 2 receivers we got, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker. I think Polk had a couple of nice grabs. I believe it on Avonte Maddox, I believe. I think Pop Douglas in the slot, he kind of did a little bit of damage on Quinion.
D freeze for you too. Oh no, you're back. You're back.
Yeah. We all know one-on-ones are kind of tough for you to cover whatnot. Where you don't have.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, with the offensive line, I made a post earlier. If you guys want to go check that out on my account, our interior of the line with David Andrews, Michael Wenu, and City Sal, they're gonna be perfectly fine. I'm not worried about them whatsoever. You go to the left tackle position. I just made a post on him. He's the worst left tackle in football, and he's actually not even an NFL caliber player. And then on the other side, you have Chukwuma Okorafor, who's not any better. He's probably like the 28th best right tackle in football. You just have to get better in that aspect. That you cannot throw Drake May into a situation where he's a 21-year-old kid where he's just going to be getting constant pressure because the Eagles D-line, yeah, they're probably the deepest in the league, but we're going to be playing teams this year with, just the amount of caliber that they have. The New York Jets, for example. By the way, I was going to bring up Bryce Huff is a beast for you guys. That was a great pickup, and I believe he is a much better player than Hassan Reddick. That's just my opinion. I think he's explosive off the line, and that's just another depth piece you guys have over there. But, with Drake May, that's why Jacoby Brissett's probably going to start week 1. You just can't throw May into a situation where you just don't have, a set offensive line and, they're constantly just getting around our guys. Again, the interior is going to be fine, but, the tackles we know is the most important, position on your line if you want to keep your quarterback protected. And I just don't know if we can do that right now.
Yeah, I'm in a situation where my offensive line, right? We obviously lost a Hall of Famer in Jason Kelsey. You know what I mean? So that's not going to be easy to replace. But we moving Cam Jurgens to the center position and then having Mekhi Becton now be the starting right guard. I think that right side of the offensive line for Saquon and Jalen with the RPO could be something that I'm looking forward to. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, how it's going to pan out because it's like, you know, you want to see Mekhi Becton do well, but I know the history. I'm not going to be facetious and say, you know, he finna come in and, you know, he going to be mistake free because I seen him do it before. No, I seen him at the Jets. I seen him struggle, but that was also at tackle. So I'm hoping him at the right guard, him not having to have so much responsibility in the gap. You got two gaps. You ain't got to worry about nobody coming way outside. You ain't got nobody work. They can only come within this arm reach. So I'm hoping that solidifies the offensive line. So I didn't really get a chance to really tap in and see what he was doing a lot. But I did see a couple of plays where he did pick up, you know what I'm saying, a linebacker coming down to take a blitz. You know what I'm saying? He did, you know, slide outside and take some help off of Johnson. But I also seen him get beat. You know what I mean? So in the same sense, I'm hoping as he get the steps going, you know what I'm saying, he can get it together because offensive line, as you said, is very critical to winning football games. If your quarterback is under pressure on a regular basis, you ain't gonna be moving the ball.
We do have a question right here, real quick, from Joseph, one of the loyal subscribers. For our Eagles guest, is Sirianni considered to be on the hot seat? That's for you, Smitty.
In my opinion, right, most Eagle fans probably tell you, yeah. I say no, right, because I believe what he did is what our organization, our owners, our GM is what they're looking for. They want a CEO coach. If you look at the history of our team, they've always tried to get our head coach to be a CEO. They always tried to get him to have just the responsibility of being head coach. And most of them, when they tried to step out on the realm of, I want to be offensive coordinator, head coach, I want to be the GM / you know what I'm saying, after Chip Kelly, you know what I mean, Andy Reid kind of left for the same reason. You know, he wanted to expand his horizon. You know, he felt like we was in a situation where it was kind of, you know, he was kind of getting stale. And then when our Super Bowl winning head coach came into a situation where, hey, look, I want to bring in my own guys. I want to elevate my own guys. I want to put my own guys in the OCs and DC positions. They said, no, look, we want to go out. We want to help you out. We want to bring in some guys we feel that can do the job to a higher standard because they didn't, you know, you don't want to tell a dude, hey, your guy ain't going to do it. But that's basically what they said. Look, your guy ain't good enough. We would like you to just be the head coach. Just run the guys, the coaching staff, make sure everything runs smooth. So I feel Sirianni did exactly what they wanted him to do.
Joseph said, I agree on Gonzo 7-7 versus Brown and Devontae. And AJ Brown gave Christian Gonzalez some props at the practice. I don't know if y'all seen it. He actually did give him some props. Like I was saying before I got cut out, man, one-on-ones are kind of hard. They're tough on anybody. I've seen Sauce Gardner and some of Jets practice this year. Some of the top, Jalen Brown, I've seen some of the top corners get beat in one-on-one. You have no safety help. The quarterback got all they throw the ball. And you basically, wide receiver got the whole field. So I really don't read too much in those. AJ Brown, he caught a few balls in team practices on Devontae Smith. I think for the most part, the Patriots did a good job, just kind of like they did last year in the game and limiting the big plays. So I think, one-on-one, they are very tough to kind of gauge a corner or receiver off that.
He froze up. Hey, hold on real quick. Chiquita! You know, I got to do my little shout out. But one-on-ones are hard, bro. And guess what? DB is the hardest position to play in football.
Oh, yeah. Especially against these guys like we've been talking about, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. How are you supposed to cover them in the open field one-on-one with no safety help? And, you know, like Ken said, they have the entire field. It's impossible. Yeah, I was just going to go to Sirianni real quick. I do like Sirianni. When I was just watching today, I was really close. The players seem to interact with him really well. He's a younger guy, obviously, so you'd expect that. But I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat because it's not like you guys have been like bad. I mean, obviously you guys didn't finish out the season well last year, but I mean, I'm not going to say he's on the hot seat yet. Maybe after this year, if you guys kind of finish how you did last year, which I don't think will happen, you guys are a better team this year. Again, Jalen Hurts taking that next step up. What I will say about practice today that I did notice from being there, very physical practice from the Patriots end. Jabril Peppers was knocking Landon Dickerson over. He knocked him over a few times actually. It was kind of funny though. They dapped each other up after every time. It was fun. There was one little fight that happened in special teams, but that's always going to happen in joint practices. It's not gonna just not happen. That happens in every single one. It's guys fighting for their lives to make an NFL roster. But overall, it seemed like a pretty clean practice. Everyone was getting along. Like I said, the Patriots have some glaring issues that we gotta fix or find for the future, because right now, with all the young guys on our team, you do not want to, start a young quarterback with this offensive line. But I will say one thing: our receivers have looked good. Pop Douglas separates so well; his feet are so quick. I think he's really going to develop to be at least a high end number 2. He was. I know one-on-ones we don't really read into, but he got at least 5 yards separation on every single rep he had. Against Quinyon Mitchell on his first one, who I'm super high on. I love that pick from you guys, but.
It looked like Quinyon slept though. I did send him I think I said Ken the clip. It was one where he got away clean though, but the second one when he got the big distance on him, it looked like Quinyon shot to like be too aggressive, and when Pop like it wasn't like a push off, but when he like popped into to go back inside, it just like Quinyon was like, oh man, damn.
How have the young guys how's Cooper and Quinyon looked at camp so far?
Cooper hasn't been at camp yet. Today was his first day.
Yeah, camping. I saw him. He came in with he was redshirted today.
Yeah, he was on the sideline doing just individuals. He didn't really get to do anything. I just it's kind of one of those situations where Quinyon been looking great. Like he been really doing his thing. He been really inserting himself in and making himself known. You could tell he got the athletic ability to be dominant. I think Cooper is going to be straight. You know what I mean? They got to find a position for him at this moment. I think that the bad thing. I think the bad thing about what we got in the DB room, we got too many right now. I think. You know what I mean? We got probably 12 or 13 on the roster right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you got like 4 or 5 of them that's pushing for time on the field. Kelly Ringo, Isaiah Rodgers, Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay. You got, what I'm saying? You got guys that's pushing to try to get on the field. Plus, now you got to bring Cooper DeJean in. He's 3 weeks behind everybody else. So I think it's just going to be a rotation of where he can fit in at and where you find time at. And I really would prefer him to kind of be rotational. I kind of want him in and out. I kind of want him on the field, off the field, you know what I'm saying, here, there, everywhere, because I think he can make a little difference on the defense. I don't need him locked into a position right now.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna bring up the Mekhi Becton thing. I didn't know he was switching to guard. I was super confused when I saw that. But you brought up really good points. I think it's gonna be a lot better for his development. He kind of did struggle in New York a little bit, but a change of scenery, especially around all the guys that Philly has, I think he's going to succeed there. Your O-line, obviously, they did have one collapse today. Jalen Hurts didn't look too happy. We did get a couple sacks on Jalen. Like we said, the edge rushing pressure that we had was actually pretty good today. Keon White, he looked awesome off the edge. He's a massive human being as well. But with the Patriots offense, Jacoby Brissett's probably his worst day today. He didn't really have a lot of command. He threw one tip drill interception, and then he had one interception to I'm not sure who it was to. I think it was to one of the edge guys, but
it was to Trotter.
Oh, I thought I saw Brandon Graham for some reason.
He threw it to Trot. And then threw one to Zach Bond. We had what, 3 interceptions today?
So Brissett threw you guys only had 2, but Brissett threw both of them.
2? It was 2? I thought it was 3.
Yeah, one of them was off Austin Hooper's hands, and then it bounced off.
Yeah.
And then I forget, who'd you say picked that one off?
That was that first one was the one that popped up. That was Zach Bond.
Yeah.
Because N'Kobe Dean broke it up. It was a N'Kobe Dean and was it a tight end or a receiver?
I think that one might have been Hooper.
Yeah, they ran it. I guess he got there right in time, broke it up. It went in the air. Zach Bond caught that one, and then the other one was Jeremiah Trotter.
Okay. How do you feel about your linebacking core right now?
Whew, shit. I knew you was going there. I'm 50-50, right? I believe today was probably Nakobe Dean's continue his streak of good days. He actually got a lot of reps from what I was looking at with the first team defense, which he hasn't been getting for like 10 or 12 days. It's been just Zach Bond and Devin White first team reps. You know, a little bit here, a little bit there, but majority of it. So to see Nakobe Dean get, you know, some first team reps, I think he's earning the trust of the defensive coordinator, linebacker coach, whoever's, you know, put you in and out of the game at this moment. He earning some trust. He's playing better. I think a lot of people looking at it as, you know, he wasn't playing well, but I try to tell people, when you get an injury and then you're out and you're trying to get back in the groove and you fighting against other guys, like you gotta get your confidence up. You also got to get your mobility back. He had a foot injury, so he's trying to. I'm telling you, I be trying to like talk to some of my Eagle people. And I'm like, but he bracing on his other foot because he don't feel comfortable on the hurt foot yet. He's trying to get back in the groove of moving smooth, moving without thinking about it. And when you get into that, that's when he'll start playing better. But right now, I think he's putting together days. I think Jeremiah Trotter is now putting together days. I don't know what Jabari Okure from the Colts is going to do. I seen him in the preseason, but I haven't heard his name enough in camp to really say he put in any effort. So right now, I think it's a 4-man house. Zach Barn, Devin White, Nakobe D, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
I mean, if those four is the position that you're not super confident in, I think you guys are in a pretty good spot, because that's still a pretty solid linebacking core. If I had to pick a position group on the Patriots defensive side that I was most confident in, I'd probably say our linebacking group, Jawan Bentley, Jelani Tavai, and once we get Sione Taki back, that's a solid linebacking core right there.
How long Taki out for?
He's right now he's on the PUP. So if he stays on that, he's out for the first 4 weeks. But he was out there today with his jersey on. Obviously, no pads or anything. But I haven't seen him at training camp at all, so that was a good sign to see him there today. But if we can get him back, that's probably our deepest position group on defense that we can rely on the most. And then I love our safeties as well with Duggar and Peppers. They were giving you guys a little bit of problems today. Duggar had a really nice pass breakup on, I believe it was Goddard. And then Peppers obviously just brings the physicality level to a game that you need out of your defense. Our run game, like I said, with the O-line, struggled so bad today. We had a few like chunk plays, but you can't really judge that, especially with the no tackling. Like they can say he's still up, but in a game, like who knows what would happen. But our run game really struggled, and it's not like our running backs are even bad. I love Ramondre Stevenson, and I think Antonio Gibson's a solid RB2 as a third down back. But
y'all picked up Gibson?
Yeah.
Oh man, he gonna make you upset. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm an Eagle fan, but I watched that man fumble as a Commander fan too many times.
Yeah.
I was just like, Jesus Christ. But I do like Ramondre though. Yeah. I think I picked him up on my fantasy league, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he'll get you 60 to 70 catches this year. I was actually gonna bring up your guys' running back core. After Saquon, do you think Gainwell's still the number 2?
Yeah.
The kid Shipley from Clemson, he looks pretty good.
It looks like it's probably gonna be a rotation between them two at the 2. You know what I'm saying? Because it's things that, you know, Will Shipley does good, it's things Gainwell does good. So I think they both will get probably an even amount of snaps when you look at it down the stretch of the season. But right now, I think he got it. I think Kenny Gainwell right now got it. I don't want him to have it. I don't believe Kenny Gainwell is all that great of a running back at times. He does some things, but I would prefer if it was Will Shipley, to be honest. I do like some of our other running backs though. Like I like Kendall Milton. I like Price, the guy that was in our first preseason game.
I watched him today. He looked pretty good.
I like him too. So listen, I don't solidify anybody in any position because look, this to me is a new start. So I think it's a new beginning for us, and I see Javier as with Saquon. I believe he will. If you look up some stats, now this why I like talk about Saquon because I looked up the stats. He was first in contact in the backfield last year, and for the last 3 years, he's been first with contact in the backfield. He has the most yards behind the line of scrimmage in the last 3 years.
That's all. The Giants' O-line is terrible too.
So I believe him having opportunity to not have to do all that ripping and running in the backfield to try to get upfield will be a help. I haven't really seen us I don't know how much you've seen of our running game today, but I haven't really seen us really running the ball a whole lot.
Yeah, I think Barkley's probably behind your O-line. Barkley's probably gonna, if he's healthy the whole season, he'll rush for probably 1,500. He's gonna have a monster year. In the NFL now, running backs aren't really too big of they're not too big of a deal anymore. But when you add someone like that to an offensive line like that, and a team that doesn't need receiver help, that's when it matters, because Saquon Barkley is almost like adding. It's like the CMC move to the 49ers. You know what I mean? Barkley just brings that, extra gear, especially with the run game you guys already have. And, I think DeAndre Swift's a solid back, but, and he had a good year last year. But Saquon Barkley, if he's healthy the whole year, he's going to be dominating behind that O-line. And then, you just add the receiving core into it. It's a dangerous offense for sure. The only concern you have is if they can stay healthy. And that's a really good concern to have, because you guys really don't have any holes on offense.
Real quick, I just got back on the Saquon Barkley point. How do you expect y'all to implement him into the offense this year? I think he did have a wheel route today in practice. So do you think
we're going back to RPO, Ken?
RPO?
2022 RPO, bro. I swear. And probably under center. I ain't gonna lie to you. Do you know what Saquon does to a linebacker in RPO?
Sucks him in.
Because you flat-footed and now you got to make a move. Now you have to commit. And your commitment is Saquon or Jalen, because either one get outside the pocket, you might be chasing your tail. So I think, what I'm saying, RPO got to be the way to go. And I've been seeing a lot of the RPO. But I think he's going to be in the passing game. I think he's going to be in the run game, RPO game, whatever way you can get him involved, because he's one of those guys. You don't need a specific way to get him to rock for him to make a move. You know what I mean? He can get it in any way he wants to. And he can make moves and get the field.
Got a good comment here from, I guess he's one of you guys, the 803 Hitman. Hey, man, where's Devin White at? I didn't hear his name today either.
Quiet.
Yeah, but I'm not too worried about Devin White. We know what he is, especially on the Eagles defense. I was going to say, I see Jamari made a comment. Saquon, that wheel route, Saquon cooked Judon. He cooked Judon. That's not what you want Judon doing, especially against a guy with Saquon's caliber. That was obviously a great throw by Jalen, but I thought that was pretty interesting seeing Judon.
Got a comment right here from my boy Javier. Is the verdict out on Jordan Davis this year? This is third year or second year? Third year, I believe.
Third.
Yeah.
Third. Listen, last year up till week 11, the Buffalo Bills game, Jordan Davis was top 10 in run stop and run win rate. I heard something that I don't know. I can't 100% say it, but I believe somewhere around week 13, Jordan Davis was playing at 400 pounds. I believe because listen, you told me at the beginning of the season he dropped 30 pounds. You had him at 360. You told me again he dropped another 35, 40 pounds, but he only had 350. That tells me he gained weight during the season, which there was a bye between Buffalo and no. There was like a 10-day window between Buffalo and San Fran. I don't know what he did, but he lost all his gas. He ran out of juice, and down the stretch, you've seen it. He just didn't have gas, but he looks like he's about 335 right now, and I mean he been a monster, bro. He doing his job. You don't expect him to get sacked, so if you clogging up lanes and you letting Jalen Carter, you letting Bryce Huff, you letting Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith get one-on-ones, that's all we asking for.
Yeah, and speaking of Bryce Huff, do you feel that is a big-time upgrade over Hassan Reddick? Because we seen Bryce Huff twice. He played with the Jets. So we seen him.
I don't want to listen, I have no disrespect to Hassan Reddick. I love Hassan Reddick. But I do think he has more tools in the bag getting at the quarterback, and he's younger, and he don't got, like. So I was telling my, Kendall, I do the show with DV or whatever. Me and DV was talking. I was telling him he don't got the bad habits that Hassan Reddick has created by Arizona putting him in the wrong position. He played linebacker for the first 3 years of his career before they moved him to edge. So he don't got those bad habits. So everything he's learning in the pass game, in the run game, is all either adding to what he had or fresh. So he's not creating bad habits. And if he get taught the right way, I think he got an ability to be better than Hassan Reddick for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I do think he right now has a better bag than what Hassan Reddick brought. But Hassan is more vetted. So even though he doesn't have the big repertoire, he knows more about the players and how to manipulate players and use it. But he not necessarily. You can't say he necessarily. I think the potential can make him better, but not right now.
Joseph says right on teams run the wheel route more often, so tough to stop. I guess Joseph, it's a lot on personnel too. You gotta have if you want to run a wheel route, you want to have somebody that can create and get deep down the field. You got to run the bag, go out there in the flats and make. So you just can't run a wheel route with anybody though. So I believe Stats, you got anything to add to that?
I mean, you got to have, like you said, you got to have the right personnel, and not every running back's built to run a wheel route, but Saquon and your guy's sake is, and I believe Ramondre he runs a pretty solid wheel route too, two pretty solid receiving backs. But Saquon showed it today, and Hurts threw a beautiful ball to him. But I agree, the wheel route, if you use it correctly with the right guy, it's a dangerous play.
Javier says
that throw got to be money though. That throw got to be money.
Yeah.
But Hurts made it money today. That was a beauty.
That throw got to be money.
Javier says top 12 pick is not a run stuff, and he has to do both. I believe he's talking about Jordan Davis. I believe.
Nah, yeah, he's talking about Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis was the 13th pick. Listen, that might be a mistake. I mean, that might be a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Taking him as a run stuffer that early. I mean, maybe he can develop his game. I think we brought in some people that can help develop him to get at the pass rusher. But I don't need him to get none. But if he do start getting sacks, 5 at the max for me is 100% okay. You know what I mean? 100% okay. I'll take 5 sacks out of him. You know what I mean? He came in to create opportunities for everybody else. A lot of guys, you want your D tackle to create pressure, but Jalen Carter is the pressure. Do you imagine what Jordan Davis does for Jalen Carter, for Milton Williams, for the guys around him? When he grabbing 2-3 dudes because that's what it takes to stop him, and now everybody else is one-on-one. Or you got an extra blocker in because he in the line, and you don't want the other guys to get one-on-one.
Miss Ash says AD just going to get better this year. He's healthier, conditioned, and he's going to be better.
Well, I was gonna say if Jordan Davis is what your 6th or 7th pass rush option, you got that's a pretty good problem to have.
And we haven't even mentioned Nolan Smith. I think he's due for a breakout year this year.
I think so. I mean, I think Fangio is kind of tooling him along a little bit. You know what I mean? Because he be throwing shots at him in conferences, and then Nolan Smith will come out and get a sack, or Nolan Smith will come out and step up. I think he is due. I kind of think that's why Hassan Reddick ain't here. You know what I mean? In my honest opinion, I think they believe they can get something out of Nolan Smith. They've seen something in Nolan Smith that they believe if he gets all the right coaching and gets put in all the right positions to make plays, he can do that. So I believe that.
Real quick, well, we got about 60, 70 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button on YouTube. You're on Facebook, share the content. Twitter, make sure you share. LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you at. Share the content, comment, and please hit that like button on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it. That's for SmittyEagle page and for mine. Appreciate that. Joseph, so Judon, where's this at? How did you guys see this ending, at least in this moment right now? I think a report just came out about an hour ago that we're lightly shopping him, but I think Jeff Darlington for ESPN said that we're going to end up keeping him. So maybe they can work out some. I think one of the pages, I forget, one of the page reporters said something about they're trying to get something done. So I think I said it on Twitter earlier. So I don't think we can afford to lose Judon. We don't have a good pass for Josh Uche. He had his best year when Judon played the whole season. He had 12 sacks that year. We don't got nobody. I mean, we got O'Shane Ximines. I know I said his name wrong, but we got him. But we don't have nobody outside of Judon. And we saw last year we lost Judon. What happened to the team? Like quarterbacks had all day. So I think we really gonna need him. I mean, we're not winning no Super Bowl. We're not winning 10 games this year. But if you want to have a chance in some of these games, I think you gotta have you need to have Matthew Judon.
Ken, I texted you this. I texted you this earlier, and we've been talking about this guy a lot. O'Shane got a little bit of first team time today. I think he's gonna make the team. He's looked awesome. Obviously, you don't want him as your number 2 right out the gate because he's an undrafted rookie, but he's looked awesome. With Judon, even if we don't get something done like immediately, it sounds like he's gonna play under his current deal. Because he said he owned up to. He's like, I signed the paper, I gotta play. I don't think trading Judon's the right move, just because he brings so much importance. Not only getting to the quarterback, but I was talking to Smitty about this earlier, taking attention away for the other guys to get to the quarterback. Because, we got a lot of guys that have the ability to be solid players, like Anthony Jennings, like Josh Uche, like O'Shane Zimin. I don't know how to say his last name still. We're going to figure that out eventually. But, he takes attention away from, the offensive line for those guys to get there. We saw Josh Uche thrive off of that a couple of years ago. He got 12.5 sacks. So that's what I'm hoping to see out of Judon this year. Even if he's not, his 16.5 self anymore, he's still going to be a very important piece for us.
Let's see. Demon said Davis is a nose tackle anytime he's actually in. We're a top 5 run defense. Davis was a scheme pick because we have run form of Fangio defense since Gannon. That's a good point.
The only problem with it, right, is they should have been running 3-4 when they picked him up. Now we actually gonna be running something like a 3-4 set, where he'll be able to line up over the center instead of lining up in the 1 or the 3 gap. Like, he's not a 3 tech D tackle. It's just not him. He's a 1 or 0. That's where he needs to be at. That's it.
Joseph said, thanks, Smitty. Great guest. Oh, yeah, anytime, man. I appreciate Smitty coming on with us. Hey, also, make sure y'all come back tomorrow night. We're going to preview the preseason game. He will be back with us tomorrow night at 7:30. That's Eastern time. I don't know if some of y'all other coaches, but he will be back with us tomorrow night.
Hey, we got another practice tomorrow, right?
No, I don't think we do.
No, just today. It was just today.
Yeah. We remember they just did one practice. They don't want to prevent fights, I guess. But it was a couple times today, though.
Yep, Roquan McMillan was getting into it. He had like a hit on special teams and the Eagles side.
That's the first time I've heard of Roquan McMillan all year.
He actually had a solid practice today. Eagles sideline didn't like the hit. Next play, nothing really bad happened, but they kind of just took advantage of it.
Real quick. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just had one more question for Smitty. This isn't a huge deal again, but who do you think is the number 3 receiver right now?
Oh, good question.
Right now it's a split between Britton Covey and Johnny Wilson, but I believe Howie Roseman might be plotting a move. I can see a situation where we probably call it
Campbell, don't you?
Yeah, we still got Paris, but he hurt. I mean, he coming back. He just got back today from a groin, but he was limited, so he didn't really do nothing. But he was over there with Cooper DeJean, who hasn't showed up either. But I think you can see us calling for like a John Mechie, somebody that's kind of low on the totem pole at this moment on their team who needs a shot. I think you can see that if Paris Campbell don't hurry up and get back out there and show that he's still because to be honest with you, like up until he got hurt, he was the guy. He was the number 3 receiver. Since he been down, Johnny Wilson had a few good runs where he caught a few touchdowns, but today they said he kind of had a rough day. You know what I mean? Him and Jalen Hurts wasn't on the right page. I think he only had like one catch out of all the catches he had opportunity to get. But that happens though. You young, you know what I'm saying? Vet quarterback trying to put it where he can to get you open. You possibly didn't make the right adjustment sometimes. Oh no, hey Joseph.
Hey, hold on. I want to go to that comment because I was before he even posted it, I was just about to mention that. I was just about to mention that. But look, hear me out, Smitty. I actually think Juju Smith-Schuster would be a good. I mean, y'all ain't gonna be dependent on him as a 3rd or 4th option. Cheap.
Juju are up.
But that's what I was about to say. I mean, y'all did. He had some words with Darius Slay, I think AJ Brown a couple years ago. So I don't know how that would work out. But I'm just,
He had words with a lot of them. It wasn't just them. Jalen Hurts commented on it. It was a few people that had words. Swift, like, yeah, he can't cover it.
Hey, you guys had Devontae Parker though.
He retired.
He gone. He retired.
No,
he out here.
No. I know that. I said you had him, but
hey, look, he looked at all them young guys and said, "Yeah, I ain't got no spot, bro."
Trust me, you don't want Juju. If you don't want Juju, you did not want Devontae Parker.
Hey, that's why I like the two young wide receivers we got, Jalen Pope, Javon, but they made some plays today. I mean, we basically swapped out Parker for Baker and swapped out Juju Smith-Schuster for Pope, and they've been making some plays all account. But real quick, speaking of that matchup that y'all had against the Chiefs a couple years ago, James Bradbury, how you think? I heard he's transitioning to safety. How you think that's going to work out for him?
Man, you seen him get cooked today. I sent you the clip.
To Will Cox. That was.
He got a holding call and got cooked. That boy is gonna be on the bench. He trying to transition because money wise, let's be honest, money wise, it don't make sense for us to cut him. You know what I mean, right now. But I think at some point Howie might just say, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna kick the can down the road. I'm gonna have to move off because it's nowhere you can put him where he's not a liability right now. It's nowhere. You put him at safety, he getting cooked. You put him in the nickel, he getting cooked. You put him outside, he getting cooked. I watched Drew Lock go 5 for 5 for 78 yards on this man. And guess what? I'll send you the clip, Ken. Every time Drew Lock, he scanned. Oh, there goes Bradbury. Let it go. Scan up Bradbury. And wherever Bradbury was, he threw the ball. So, me personally, I think his situation is coming to a slow roll. You know what I mean? We trying to fit you in. We trying to show you some respect because you're a vet. We did pay you. We did keep you last year trying to, you know what I mean? So at this moment, we just trying to figure out if you can at least be a teacher.
Do you like what you've seen so far from your younger corners? And well, I know you ain't seen much from Cooper yet because he's been hurt. But Quinyon Mancho, you still got Kelee Ringo. You like what you seen from them?
Listen, Keely sneaky, but I think he gonna be. I think he's still gonna be a man short because we got Isaiah Rodgers and Isaiah Rodgers is cooking.
I heard.
Isaiah Rodgers is cooking. I mean, I do like what I see out of the DBs, man. Because last year, I couldn't really point it out to you and tell you who was gonna be what or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I believe Slay is still taking another step back this season. I don't know if Slay's the starter all season, to be honest with you, Ken. I can see a Keely or Quinyon getting slid out to Slay's spot because Slay ain't cutting it because he getting cooked. I mean, last year we seen it. I mean, he had to go get his knee clean. You know what I'm saying? He getting to a point where those steps starting to add up. So I can see a position where, look, hey Slay, look, we're gonna sit you down, but we're gonna keep you on the team. You know what I'm saying? I can see it. It's just a situation where I can see it. I'm listening. I'm listening to Keely Ringo stepping up, Quinyon stepping up, Isaiah Rodgers stepping up. You got a lot of these young guys coming out playing good ball. Yeah, you want to show Slay respect because he's a captain. He's been on the team for a few years. You kind of want to keep him on the field, but if he ain't cutting it, I can see a situation where you see a Keely Ringo come step in at that cornerback 2 spot and Isaiah Rodgers slide over or Quinyon Mitchell slide. You can see it, man. I think it's really the only reason Quinyon inside is get him on the field.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, obviously you want Slay out there. He's a leader for you guys. I mean, he's a veteran. He's been in the league for a while. And, I think he still has a decent amount left in the tank. I'm not saying, he's his peak Lion self, but, if he does, take another step back or even take a massive step back this year, which I'm for your sake, I'm not hoping for. It's not like you guys are doomed. You guys got depth there. You guys got, we were just talking about all the guys you got there. And if Cooper comes back healthy, you got him too. I was just that was my main point there with the cornerbacks. You got with Bradbury. I saw an interview with him. It was like a month ago or something. They were asking him, about something, and he just straight up said the younger guys are just. It was something like the younger guys are just way faster than him now. He just can't move as well. I don't remember exactly what he said. Smitty, did you see that?
Yeah, he said he knew he played bad. He knew he had a bad season. I mean, that's a respectable part of the first part he said. And he said, look, he gotta work a little harder to get back on the field. He know the young guys is really putting up a fight to be out on the field, and they drafted. He said I know I played bad, and they drafted 2 DBs.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's
So
Slay,
he know
what he
the
said
writing
there?
is on the wall. No,
Darius Slay said
that
that?
was Brad Bear. That was
Oh,
Brad
no,
Bear.
yeah.
brother.
He said,
Um,
I know I played bad, and they drafted 2 of them. And to me, drafting 2 tell me everything I need to know. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Tell me everything I
Owen,
need to know.
Owen, one thing. Owen, one thing. What's going on, Owen? How would it running back today, New England? I think Mondre Stevenson had a couple nice runs. I didn't hear much about Gibson, the depth running back, but it was a struggle. I mean, you're going up against a top five defense or top five defensive line anyway. I mean, we're not good thing we're not going to see the Eagles defense none this year. I think the closest thing we probably going to see from the Eagles. That's why I'm gonna read a lot into today because we already in the offensive line was a problem. But we're not going to see a line like the Eagles probably till we see the Jets in like week 3 or week 4. Other than that, I don't think we face another team with a great defensive line. I mean, the Eagles they do that to pretty much anybody. They got a lot of depth there, so I'm not really overly panicking about that because we knew we had issues at tackle. We knew we had issues in the interior. So we already that wasn't really surprising. I'm just surprised it wasn't worse than what it was. I think it was like 20 sacks today.
It's 14.
14.
Yeah, I was talking to Smitty about this. I'm not as worried about the interior of the line. I like Sal Andrews. Andrews is getting a little older. He's kind of showing it. He's not really he hasn't really had the best camp, but the backup center position is abysmal. He has to play for our sake. And then obviously you got Michael Wenu. I've been talking about Vidarian Low, Ken. I made a post on him before, or not even
Oh
on him,
man,
the offensive line in general before this. If you guys want to go check that out. It's not even just Low anymore, Ken. Chuck Wama Okorafor he's just not a starting tackle in the NFL. He can't be. He gets cooked every time. He's not fast enough off the line. And it's leaving our young quarterback with nothing. And you can't throw him into a situation like that when he's gonna get sacked, 6+ times a game, because that's looking like that's what's gonna happen. And we're going against, like we've said, all the edge rushers we're going against. We got Trey Hendrickson with the Bengals, who's, not like the top tier, but he's still going to absolutely cook Vidarian Low on the left side. And then you face against all these defenses. You got Bosa. We're playing the Niners. You got Daniil Hunter. We're playing the Texans. So it doesn't get easier. The tackle position has become a much bigger problem than our receiving room. Our receiving room has actually been fine. I've really liked what I've seen. Even KJ Osborne's had a pretty solid camp lately. The tackle position is our weakest position, and then they're putting May not only with the 2 that I just said. He's with the guys below him. He's with Calvin Anderson. Calvin Anderson can't block a beach ball. So Drake May is getting left out to dry out there.
The 803 hitman Slay's heart ain't in it no more, and it's showing. Only think he talking about Darius Slay. Say he's ready
I
to
believe
move
it,
on.
bro.
He's ready to move
I
on to the
believe it,
media. He got a podcast, don't he?
Yeah, yeah. It just, bro, it's little things. It just seems like he be getting burnt on the little things, like little small routes where you like, dang, Slay, you a vet, like you 10+ years in the game, you didn't see that coming, like it's just small stuff, and it just don't seem like he trying. He's not putting a lot of effort into being what he need to do. So
Demon said, was May running with the ones that on that 2-minute drill? No, I think May, I don't know. They still got May running with the 2s, but I think that's going to change probably soon. I know he's going to play a lot in the first quarter, probably the first half on Thursday. But Brissett had a bad day. And I think if Brissett starts stacking up these days and they give May a shot with the ones, I mean, I think you might well. I wouldn't throw him out there with offensive line right now, but I think the ones offensive line is a lot better than the 2 offensive line. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you
100%.
gotta start babysitting. You gotta see what you got. You can't keep them in route.
Because not only are the tackles a problem with the 2, the interior is not good either. So it's kind of just everything's a mess. Brissett kind of got exposed today, kind of a little bit. He kind of looked a little like he was kind of panicking a little bit in the pocket. I mean, granted, he had 0 time to do anything at all today. But he overthrew Hooper in the end zone. He was wide open. He overthrew him by a good amount, actually. But I'm not gonna panic. One practice, but this was the practice that you wanted to see guys like Brissett, who's a veteran, step up. And, Drake May was better than him today. He just was. He flat out, he was better.
I think Brissett had 2 interceptions, I believe.
Yeah, one of them was kind of like a tip drill. Kind of just went through, I think it was Hooper's hands. The other one was bad. It was not good. I think he had a play where he like slipped and then he kind of just, I don't know what happened, but he did kind of struggle today. I think May did take a stride closer to Brissett for the starting job, although I'm kind of coming to terms I don't really want May to start if this is our starting offensive line, because you cannot have Vidarian Lowe at left tackle. I'll keep saying it.
Jamar says text. Yeah, I forgot about the Houston Texans. They got a good defensive line too. Joseph says true tackles are the biggest issue, and LOL. Hey, that's gonna wrap it for tonight, man. I don't want to keep Smitty too long because we are gonna have him again tomorrow night when we actually preview the preseason game. Go through our I ain't gonna say picks of the game because the preseason, but players we're looking for, X factors, some depth players that a lot of us probably don't really hear about. We're gonna get into that tomorrow night. 7:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. That's gonna be the time. Smitty stats. Y'all got anything else to say for tonight?
Nah, man, just tap in tomorrow, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Be here tomorrow, 7:30. We're gonna be here, man. So y'all tap in with us. Appreciate y'all for coming out.
Appreciate it, and make sure y'all hit that like button, man. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever y'all at. Like, especially on YouTube, give me the thumbs up, man. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Some Smitty channels up there too. Make sure you subscribe to that, man. Get some Eagles content. I appreciate it, and we will be back tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. That is Eastern time. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir, boys. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.